Hey there, welcome to Too Much Mom. I'm so happy to have you. I'm Kristin Smith, and today's episode is so special and so close to my heart. April, if you didn't know, is Autism Awareness Month. But autism, it's really one of those things that we should be aware of all year long. So I'm so excited to share one woman's story with you. Her name is Barrientos. She's the founder of Sounds of Autism. It's an amazing nonprofit. And her son Landon, a remarkable young man who happens to have autism. Now, Cricket and Landon have found a tool that has changed their life. And so we want to talk about that and so much more. Please welcome Cricket to the show. Cricket, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
I know you flew from Phoenix to here in LA, so I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Your story captivated my heart the first time I heard it, and I'm so happy to have you on the show to share it with everyone else. Your son Landon has autism, and I want to go back to the beginning when you found out that your son has autism.
Yeah, so he was 6 because at that time that's when they diagnosed.
Okay.
And it was, to say the least, it was very devastating for a parent to, hear that.
Yeah.
Me personally, I had to really do my research and understand what I was looking at. So I Googled autism, and once you do that, you just become overwhelmed.
When you Google anything, you become overwhelmed.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. And I know there were signs that you would you say you were in denial?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, explain that.
It's very similar to what I would say, like losing somebody in your family. You go through a mourning process, and it's not something that you can rush. People take their time, and they're going to figure out when it's their time to really accept it and embrace it. Mm-hmm. But once they start doing that, then things really seem to kind of come, full circle, and you're really able to tackle the project that you have ahead of you. But it's definitely a mourning process.
Okay, we've all heard of autism, but there are some people who don't really know what it is. Can you just break it down in the simplest way?
Sure. So it's a developmental delay is what they say. And they say life on a spectrum, which means there's kids from, very high function to very low function. So life on a spectrum means there's a lot of these kids with all types of different things that you have to figure out. So just because you're dealing with something may not be what another parent's dealing with.
You said off camera, and hopefully you're comfortable sharing about this, but Landon had a breakdown that kind of freaked you out. Can you tell us about that?
We gave him a donut on the morning that I realized that, we have to do something. We have to take him to the hospital or do something. We had given him a donut, which was one of his favorite things to eat. And I gave it to him at 7:30 in the morning, and by 9:30 at night, he finally finished it. And he told me that there was a dinosaur that lived inside of his body, and it had stink bombs on its feet. So every time he took a bite or swallowed something, the stink bomb would release, so his body was contaminated. And so with that, he just couldn't eat this food, and it was real for him. It was real. So when you started having those real conversations with him about the dinosaur living inside of his body, I mean, anybody that knows, about this type of stuff would understand, but people that don't wouldn't think that was very normal. It got really bad to a point where he started showing signs of anorexia, like he wasn't eating. And so we had to respond very quickly to that. But because we didn't qualify for access or government programs at the time, I called 35 mental health institutions for help, and not one of them could help address our situation.
There are some things that have helped you rise above the bad days. And for one, I know you started this amazing nonprofit, Sounds of Autism.
In 2011, we started it, and it was really just to support families on Facebook. And as I was sharing stories about Landon, people were liking and sharing. And I thought, wow, all these people have autistic kids. But in reality, it was just people interested in understanding more because it was so misunderstood, or really people didn't know about it.
Yep.
And now it's 1 in 59 kids have it.
Now the website is soundsofautism.org.
Yes.
Okay, and the Facebook page is?
Cricket Barrientos or Sounds of Autism. You could do either or, and you'll get the same message.
Okay, so please check that out. Let's talk about Busy Kid. Busy Kid is a great app, but you use Busy Kid in probably a different way than someone who has children without autism.
So for us, in raising Landon, we know that he's delayed.
Yes.
And so Busy Kid was a tool that our organization found, and we felt like it would be a great support tool for Landon and kids on the spectrum. The Busy Kid app asks you to assign chores, and on that it tells you, like, for age 15, this is what he should be doing. And when I started to download all these chores, and I was like, there's no way he's going to do all these things. Yeah. And then I realized, like, you know what, this is a tool, and this will be a measuring stick. When he saw
right.
the money piece of it, and he saw that, I could buy my toys on Amazon, or I could do, different things, he realized at that point that this was a good thing because there was reward. And today, Landon is now doing chores independent of us having to tell him to do it, and he enjoys it. Yeah. So now Landon actually, I didn't tell you this, but Landon has a job. He works on a horse ranch.
Stop it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yes. And
he
takes care of 35 horses.
Wow.
And it's a hard job.
Yeah, I'd say working on a horse ranch,
yes.
It's a lot of work.
Yes. So he's working with a rancher, and he's doing it to show his ability to to do these things. And he said one day he wants to be a farmer, and I'm like, that's a really hard job. And he goes, it's okay, Mom. He's good with that.
That's incredible. Congratulations, Landon. Hopefully he watches this and can see me say that personally. All right, go ahead and download Busy Kid. You can find it in your app store or go to busykid.com. Cricket, for the parents watching who have kids with autism and don't know where to start or feel alone or lost or any of those emotions that I'm sure you've experienced, what would you say to them?
I would tell them, reach out to us and let me know that you're struggling or that you have a million questions like I did, because you're not alone. And there's a huge support group with our organization that's virtual, so we could help anybody anywhere in the world, and we're able to really help respond to their needs.
All right, Cricket, I told this to her before, but you are like the mama's love that's like that mama bear, unstoppable force. And you're a great example of what you can do when you really go after it. There are no limits to what we can do, ladies. Just know that. Thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you liked today's episode, please click like, share with all of your friends. And if you haven't already, subscribe. And thanks again to Cricket Barrientos for coming. And as I always say, remember, don't waste a minute of being a mom. I know it's all too much, way too much, but we're in it to win it together. And we're all doing a great job. We'll see you next week.